This first London Marathon, even before it started, is surely already the most remarkable success. And even the refreshing rain is helping. It may not look attractive, but these are perfect conditions for marathon running. The appeal of completing a full marathon course, plus the prospect of running through historic parts of London, has brought people who run for fun from all over the world. The race providing that spark of motivation to sustain a fitness program during the winter. Tracksuits taken to the finish by special buses. As they prepare for the start, just time now to meet one or two of the competitors.
I'm a little girl playing at marathons, but my training's been absolutely serious. I've worked up to 76 miles a week. Last week, I ran 14 on Saturday and 21 on Sunday.
14 Saturday, 21 on Sunday?
Yes. And of course, I've been running to work and home again 4.5 miles each way. So I feel I've earned my salt, I've done my training, and now all that remains, nowhere to go but out, nowhere to come but in, and nothing to do but run.
Organization so far has been superb. In fact, in many aspects, much better than that of New York.
Better than New York. We've got the weather right, haven't we?
That's correct, but the organization, last night's pasta party, the registration this morning here, it's actually superb to New York.
I said in a moment of idiocy a couple of months ago that I would have a go, and I didn't feel I could jack out.
Preparing for the start, which will be the firing of a 25-pound howitzer. The athletes in the park waiting patiently. And meanwhile, out on the road, the elite, who actually start the race on the starting line. The back markers, the slowest people in the field, will be some 5 or 6 minutes before they cross the starting line. The first mile is very fast, and my word, they're stampeded away, chasing the press photographers out of the way. And this really is suicidal early on. But there's surely a sight that quickens the pulse of even the most seasoned distance runner. With me is Brendan Foster.
I never ever thought I'd see the day to witness a sight like this in London. But maybe it's more important that people at the front take their time early on, and the people at the back judge their effort in order that they finish.
This mass of humanity moving through the park gates. I must say the start going more smoothly than most of us thought, because the park gates could be a hazard, but they're heeding the warning not to rush through there. The ambulance men waiting, hidden by the pillars. And most of the competitors know enough about the sport, even though this may be their first marathon, to start their own personal watches, although the official clock has started as the gun goes. They'll start their own personal watches as they cross the line. All with targets set, their resolution witnessed by family and friends, they now face one of the most demanding challenges in sport. The elite who went off first, the men and women who can run under 2.5 hours, followed by the 3-hour people, and then right at the back, the people under 4 hours, and then the 4-hour plus people. Ron Pickering's been a long time in athletics, and I suspect never expected, like Brendan Foster, to see anything like this in Great Britain.
And what a marvellous sight. Part Hampstead Heath, part Petticoat Lane, part track and field, and all the family here. What a marvellous turnout from the supporters too. And I think they're going to cheer them all the way around. 26.2 miles. It's just got that real sense of occasion that we so rarely see. And survival is what many of these backmarkers are about. But already a race is underway, although the occasion will be far bigger than the race.
These athletes now approaching the half-mile mark. At this pace, the leaders will be through the mile in about 4 minutes 30 seconds. The race, of course, by tradition, based on the legendary run made by the messenger Phidippides after the remarkable defeat of the Persian army by the Athenians in 490 BC. It ran from the village of Marathon to Athens, which was approximately 23 miles. With news of victory, cried out, "Rejoice, we conquer," and dropped dead. Dick Beardsley, the American, on the left. And they're still streaming through the start. Responding extremely well to the urging on the loudspeaker to take it easy in the early stages and to watch the park gates.
Well, pick out your friends from that lot. Plenty of time to see them. David Coleman mentioned Dick Beardsley, an early leader. They actually made him the favourite for this race because he's had a lot of experience in mass runs of this sort. Did well running in the New York Marathon. But this is a lovely bottleneck to keep the pace slow for those at the back. But the race beginning to develop at the front. One or two familiar characters up there. And Brendan and I trying to sort one or two out. We've seen Mike Kearns, Jim Dingwall. But that's that bottleneck. And it won't do them any harm. Gentle, soft rain, nice and cool, no wind. Ideal for beginners in a marathon.
In the marathon, of course, most of the distance runners make it very, very clear that it's pace that kills and not distance.
For those at the back, it's an experience. For the man at the front, I think they're going to think about the experience later, because for them, it's a race.
The leaders well on the way now. They've been running for about 5 minutes. Right up there, Inge Simonsen, the Norwegian, Dick Beardsley of America there, and Trevor Wright too, possibly the top English runner.
Well, David, they won't have done bad to have cleared the gate by about 7 minutes. That's really well done. Better than the New York Marathon to get them across the start line.
There's been a marvellous atmosphere all the way around, and this first ever London Marathon destined for a tremendous finish. Beardsley having another go. This is Birdcage Walk on the way towards Buckingham Palace, and then they finish on Constitution Hill. And all the time it's Beardsley really who's making the pace. Simonsen hanging on. Oh, and they're comparing notes. They're having a talk as Trevor Wright comes through in third place. And I really do wonder whether in fact they're going to arrange to come in together. They've got about half a mile left. It's decision point for them. But I suspect Simonsen doesn't speak much English, but being an experienced runner, he'll have got the message. Do they battle it out, or do they come in together? Approaching Buckingham Palace, and the route absolutely packed with spectators. The royal family not at home today. And with only about 300 yards to go, someone must make the break if it's going to happen. Into the finishing straight. Simonsen of Norway on the far side. Beardsley of America talks to him again. And perhaps they're going to finish in what is surely the true spirit of a people's marathon like this. Not making any effort to break from each other as they have the ticking clock above the finish in sight. And as forecast, very fast. And they're going to finish together. The hand of friendship after 26 miles, 385 yards, and Beardsley of America ties with Simonsen of Norway. The time, 2 hours, 11 minutes, 49 seconds approximately, their fastest ever runs.
I can't imagine a more fitting man to finish in third place than Trevor Wright. He's had 10 years at the marathon, he's had many years of difficulties, he's running really strong now, and he's heading for one of his fastest marathons ever, and what a great place to do it.
His wife, the former Rosemary Sterling, Commonwealth 800-metre champion, further back in the field, and she's running well as well.
Trevor Wright have a lot of followers here cheering him on. First two men, though, who shared that victory, never won a major marathon race before, so good for them. Norway and USA. Trevor Wright bringing home the British colours and really looking so strong at the end of the race. 007. Trevor Wright, Wolverhampton and Bilston crossing the line now.
Trevor's time, 2 hours, 12 minutes, 53 seconds, and this is Tipton's Mick Kearns.
Well, as Brendan Foster was saying earlier, this is the lad that formerly held the British United Kingdom record for 1,500 metres, sub-4-minute mile, a brilliant trackman in his day, and this is minutes inside his best for a marathon. He really is way ahead. Tipton, 27 years of age. We make it about 22 minutes faster than he's ever run a marathon before. Kearns across the line in 4th place. And Joyce Smith in sight. Joyce Smith. And there must be inspiration for everyone watching this. A girl who was a sprinter and a long jumper for Hertfordshire schools 30 years ago. Terrific to see her way ahead of the next girl, and she running for her fastest time. If she can better that, it will be a new British and Commonwealth record.
Crossing St Catherine's Dock on the way home, about 3 miles to go for Joyce Smith, and she's back in this race in about 140th place. Magnificent run. And she is on schedule too for a new women's British marathon record.
Joyce Smith already holds the UK record, running extremely strongly now, and amongst her she's running with really top-class club runners, men club runners who've run nationally in the past, and what a great run that is by Joyce.
And most appropriately, it's Mother's Day. Joyce, mother of two daughters, Leah 4, Lisa 12, and she's got about 3 miles to go, and no one will begrudge her coming home first. She really started women's marathon in this country. She chased the great Greta Weitz on occasion. She set those Commonwealth best times, and this is the one event where the women are closing the gap so fast on the men. And as one famous American woman, marathon runner, Mickey Gorman, said, compared to having a baby, the marathon is easy, and our First Lady of the track makes it look easy.
And I wonder if Joyce will be around for the next Olympic Games, when, of course, the marathon distance will be introduced to the Olympic Championships. That's Gillian Drake, back at the tower, about 3.5 miles left. She comes from New Zealand, obviously running very strongly indeed, back in second place in the women's race. And this is the third girl, Gillian Adams. Displaced one or two of the other athletes have finished, while we've been looking back to the ladies' race. In 5th place, Graham Laing of Aberdeen. 6th was Brian Cole of Tipton. 7th, Jim Dingwall of Falkirk. 8th, Keith Penny of Cambridge. And in 9th place, Paul Eales of Windsor Slough.
Bren, this cobblestones must be tough, particularly towards the end of the race.
Well, the terrain here, when you've run 20 miles or more, it must be really difficult. I can see some of the athletes are trying to move from side to side to get a better footing, but they've run really extremely well at this point.